for Missouri. Any one of them can go off on any night. Williams and Ryan Rosberg patrolling the paint for Mizzou. The Tigers led by Frank Haith, 7 years at Miami, now in his third year at Missouri, 62-20 and an incredible 42-2 at home as the head coach of the Tigers. Now Frank Martin now in his second year at South Carolina after having a very successful stint at Kansas State. 21-29. Again, to be fair to Frank Martin, took over a program that had an unbelievable amount of attrition. He's finally getting his players in there and trying to scrap his way to a victory in this ball game today. Gamecock basketball first. Gamecocks in garnet and the Tigers in white.
South Carolina entering this game 0-5 in the SEC. Their confidence level is not very high. The start of this game really important. Missouri doesn't want to give them any confidence, and South Carolina wants to get off to a real good start.
Good pass by Thornwell, but missing the bunny was Henry. Need Demetrius Henry, the freshman, to play stronger.
Both these teams very much perimeter oriented, rely on their guards for a lot of the offensive activity at both ends of the court.
Backing in on Pereira and kicking it out is Williams and setting up Ernest Ross.
Nice job by Williams, beautiful pass. J3 kicking it out to Ernest Ross for the jumper.
This is Thornwell, a talented freshman. Gamecocks working around the horn. Now Henry, baseline jumper, spins out, and skying for the rebound is Clarkson.
Clarkson kind of lost the handle. He was falling out of bounds, but able to keep the ball inbounds. As long as he reestablishes inbounds, he can recover that bobble.
Pereira denying the inbound pass to Rosberg. Neither one of these teams get a whole lot of points down low. It's going to be guard central in the scoring column for the Gamecocks and Tigers.
Missouri's guards are big and really effective when they drive the ball into the lane. They're big and tough enough to score around the basket, so the defense has to honor that, leading to some opportunities out on the perimeter.
Clarkson with 5 to shoot. The leaner left it short, but there for the rebound is Williams. Down low, Rosberg banks it in.
Just what Frank Haith is looking for offensively, wanting his guards to get into the lane, create good scoring opportunities either for themselves or their teammates. Nice execution by Missouri.
This is Williams. Into the corner, Thornwell. Left it short, and the Tigers clear it.
South Carolina have a really difficult time at their offensive end. Just a moment ago, Clarkson getting in the lane. He draws the defense's attention. They're not able to get to the block out, and then again, Jabari Brown with a quick drive into the lane. Rosberg, the easy score. That's great execution by Missouri, getting that ball in the paint.
Inbound pass, and there is Williams, the lefty, dropping the bucket, and Missouri quickly has a 7-0 lead.
Jonathan Williams playing good basketball for Missouri here early. Has an assist in that basket along with a rebound or two.
Williams has it blocked and then pokes it away, and I believe that is off of Missouri. Out of bounds it is, off of Jabari Brown's knee. It'll be Carolina basketball.
The whistle sounded a little bit early there. The ball was still in bounds and still in play. One of the teams could have gone and recovered that one, but the whistle blew early. Gamecocks down a touchdown already. Got to get something on the board here.
As Kaichanis into the game, one of 2 Lithuanians on the Gamecock roster. Thornwell. Gamecocks just can't buy one right now. Tigers with numbers. Williams will go to the free throw line for a pair.
Nice push by Jordan Clarkson. Just a perfect start from Missouri Tigers. They get out of the gates nicely, passing the basketball around, getting everybody involved, shutting South Carolina down defensively. Just what the Tigers were looking for, trying to get this win here at home.
Williams knocks down the first, just a 54% free throw shooter. KNU Post will check in for Missouri. He was a junior college All-American. They are hoping that his game will improve in the latter part of this year.
Coach A says he just needs confidence. KNU Post is talented, hadn't had a lot of success, so looking to have some good things happen to get that confidence up.
Notice turns it over. Missouri running. And tie up the arrow will go to the Tigers.
Not a good decision there by Jordan Clarkson. Probably would have been better served just to go ahead and take that shot. His team had numbers. They're trying to drop it off into a lot of traffic. Led to that tie-up.
Carrera back in for South Carolina. And a hold called. That was almost a 5-second violation, but a hold called on the perimeter.
One of the biggest issues for South Carolina is they give up a lot of free throw shots. A lot of fouls, a lot of free throws. That makes them a poor defensive team.
Jabari Brown might be the best pure shooter in the Southeastern Conference. He rattles home a three. Missouri up 11-0. And a 3-second violation on the freshman Demetrius Henry.
South Carolina still being shut out, so Frank Martin wants to have a discussion with the officials and a discussion with his player.
Well, we had a lengthy discussion with Frank Martin today, and Frank has been able to keep it in perspective. He knows he's playing a little bit shorthanded. A lot of underclassmen trying to lead this Gamecock team, and at times it has really shown offensively. When you take a look at the attrition that Frank Martin has had to deal with since he took over in Columbia, the numbers are simply staggering, all the things that have happened with the roster. Of course, the latest moment, the latest action happening to South Carolina, Bruce Ellington deciding he will no longer play college basketball. That was one of the top scorers on this team the last couple of years. It takes away not only the scoring, but as Frank told us, Barry, the leadership ability. Yeah. You can't lean on that senior anymore.
Yeah, these young guards for South Carolina trying to find their way in college basketball, and it would be nice to have a senior, a great leader like Bruce Ellington to help lead these guys, show them the way. South Carolina trying to figure it out.
You pass. Can't get it from close range. Carrera tears away the rebound. Gamecocks need to find a bucket. That's a start. A foul call. Thornwell will go to the free throw line when we return.
Missouri knocking out a couple of three-point shots here early to take control of this game, getting it inside, kicking it back out. Tigers knocking them down and off to a nice lead.
Has this ever happened to you? Or this? Will this make your memoirs? At Shelter Insurance, we can't iron out all the glitches in modern life. But we can manage your auto, home, and life insurance just fine. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Sunday, immediately following the Knicks and Lakers. Tune to the network that knows your team best. Join Bill Pito, Ellen Hahn, and Wally Zerbiak for Geico Knicks Extra, presented by Cadillac. Sunday after the game, only on MSG Network. Tuesday night, it's another chapter in the New York-Boston rivalry. Live coverage begins Tuesday night at 7 on MSG Network. Part of MSG's Big Week, presented by Visa. Thursday night.
Guess who's coming to dinner?
An all-new episode.
All right, you better be funny.
New guests.
I was at that game.
Were you?
No, I lied.
Same JB.
Hey, Ralph! I was just laying it out.
Jimmy could take him.
No, Jaden. Jaden's the new Karate Kid.
Because he wants to do movies with Jaden Slaughter.
In New York, you can have it all.
4 courses with JB Smoove, presented by Visa. Catch an all-new episode Thursday at 11:30, following Knicks Cavs on MSG.
I'm back, baby.
Today's SEC game is brought to you by Lowe's. Lowe's never stop improving. And by Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealer for great deals today. With Barry Booker, I'm Mike Morgan here with you in Columbia, Missouri. The Gamecocks and the Tigers doing battle. Missouri leading at 11-0 here at the Mizzou Arena, which is also known as Norm Stewart Court, the legendary head coach that was so prominent in this program, becoming the premier program it is in college basketball. Stewart was a terrific player. He led Missouri in scoring and rebounding back in 1956. He was also a great pitcher on a national championship baseball team. Won 634 games and one of the architects of the coaches versus cancer alertness that you have every year now in college basketball. And you see the coaches wearing the sneakers during this week every year now in college basketball. And just another great testimonial to what Norm Stewart was able to do, not just as a coach, but off the court as well.
Norm Stewart, longtime coach here at Missouri, and this is a great environment for college basketball. Maybe it's certainly among the best in the SEC.
Thornwell knocks down a pair of free throws. Sindarius Thornwell, the freshman, leading this team in scoring, and they need big numbers out of him virtually game by game, Barry.
Yeah, Thornwell and Brenton Williams, the two guys that South Carolina really relies on to put points on the board. And not much inside help, so the defense can really focus on those guards.
Clarkson with a straightaway three, trying to bust up the zone.
Clarkson only a 28% three-point shooter so far on the season, but I like his stroke. He got a good-looking shot, gets that ball spinning the right way. I think that percentage is going to rise as the season goes along.
And a travel there, happy feet for Thornwell.
Looking at Jordan Clarkson's shooting form here. He does a nice job getting his elbow underneath the basketball, getting that ball spinning straight back. Like his shot. Surprised that he's only a 28% three-point shooter the way he strokes it.
Speaking of good form, we're going to see some of your form later on in the broadcast today. Three-point shooting has been an issue for a number of teams in the SEC this year. Not for this guy, though. Typically, Brown is on target. This is Zach one, but an offensive rebound. And a foul called as Williams was hacked near the baseline.
Jabari Brown, a 45% three-point shooter, unable to get that one down. And I think there's a little flaw in Brown's technique. I'm surprised that he's shooting as well as he is at 45% with his shooting form. Said elbow out just a little bit, but he can get in rhythm. He can get on a roll and knock those shots down. He works so hard at it that he is a good shooter just from repetition and the work that he puts in.
That last foul, by the way, was on Thornwell, so he's already got 2. Frank Martin will have to be careful on how he plays in the rest of the first half. And another jump ball. Good defense there by the Gamecocks. Possession arrow to Missouri.
Dwayne Notice getting in the action there, getting a hand on the basketball. I think that's one of those, they call the jump ball if the offensive player goes up and comes back down. But that time the ball got away. I think that should have been a play-on situation instead of a jump ball. But South Carolina's going to get it. And,
yeah, they had a mistake there. The arrow was pointing Missouri's way, but Missouri got the last jump ball, so this is the right reversal here. as the Gamecocks have it.
South Carolina got the tip, and that was the second jump ball of the game, so the officials get that straightened out.
Is stumbling, barely gets it off to Thornwell, who buries a deep two right in the face of Brown.
Oh, you see how difficult it is for South Carolina to generate points. Thornwell that time off the dribble, a surprise rise and fire. Able to get it down, but don't think that's going to be a consistent source of points for South Carolina.
Rattles out, but another offensive rebound for the Tigers. And Thornwell grabs the rebound. Gamecocks need to find somebody to put it in the bucket besides Thornwell. Thornwell again. And a rebound by Rosberg flying in as he's fouled.
Nice board by Rosberg, and good job by Kaitchenis for South Carolina. Aggressive, got an offensive rebound, got an extra scoring opportunity for South Carolina there. Gamecocks just couldn't get it home.
You might hear that whistle sound off your TV set a lot today. Gamecocks leading the league with 28 fouls a game. Rosberg inside for a deuce, and it's now 16-4.
Another nice drive. Jabari Brown getting in the lane, drawing the defense to himself, and then setting up Rosberg for the easy one.
There's the other scoring weapon for this offense. Brenton Williams, a senior, who comes in as one of the top free throw shooters, in fact, the top in the country, and shooting 37% from downtown.
Zone defense from South Carolina. Missouri can't just swing the ball around the perimeter. That will not be successful. Got to get it into the middle of that zone as they did on that play. Well, the Gamecocks struggling at the offensive end of the court. The turnovers, the missed shots. Missouri defense has been very good, but South Carolina just hadn't been able to generate very much at the offensive end of the court. Just don't have the weapons at this point for Frank Martin.
Gamecocks just 2 of 9 from the field as Brown knocks down the free throw. That man's patience has really been tested thus far this year. It's been a lot of different issues all built into one, but one thing he talked about too with us today is it's so hard to win in this league if you're really young. And let's throw Kentucky away for a second, because the kind of freshmen they get are All-Americans and lottery picks. Yes. For everybody else, if you're not old in college basketball, it's very difficult to win. Thornwell from 15. That is a young guy who's only going to get better as he gets older.
And South Carolina has some pieces, some good young pieces on this team, but they don't have the inside players at this point. Need to add more quality on the front line before they're going to become a successful SEC team.
That was our 3rd jump ball in the first 8 minutes of this game. Missouri will keep it when we come back. The Tigers lead it by 9.
What's different at Red Lobster? New table for 2. Everyone's favorite flavors. With 2 salads, 2 entrees, plus an appetizer or dessert to share. All just $29.99. Offer ends soon. So come to Red Lobster and see food differently.
When we created C Spire, we found inspiration in the same values that inspire our customers. Bold leadership, intense passion, continual growth. And as we've grown, we've never lost sight of these principles. It's why we develop our wireless, fiber optic, and business solutions with your needs in mind. To us, you're not just a customer, you're our inspiration. C Spire, customer inspired.
What's different at Red Lobster? New table for 2. Everyone's favorite flavors. With 2 salads, 2 entrees, plus an appetizer or dessert to share. All just $29.99. Offer ends soon. So come to Red Lobster and see food differently.
Tonight, before before they battle it out in the Bronx. MSG gets you ready for the first ever outdoor NHL games in New York. Hockey Night Live, Stadium Series Edition. Tonight at 8:30 on MSG. Part of MSG's Big Week presented by Sunday, immediately following the Rangers-Devils battle in the Bronx. Tune to MSG for highlights and analysis, plus locker room reaction from Yankee Stadium. The Stadium Series postgame presented by Mercedes-Benz. Sunday on MSG Network. Part of MSG's Big Week presented by Visa. Friday. After battling outdoors in the Bronx, the Rangers and Islanders collide for the final time this season. Nash and the Rangers. Tavares and the Isles. Coverage begins with Visa Game Night at 6:30. Then the Rangers and Isles face off at 7. Friday night on MSG Network. Part of the Big Week presented by Visa.
Dory Noka in studio. We want to update a couple of games out of the SEC. Tennessee visiting undefeated in conference play. Florida, Patrick Young battles, and then watch just the power move on Jarnell Stokes. Florida right now up on Tennessee 13-9. And then Marshall Henderson, your reigning SEC Player of the Week, bangs in one of his only 3. He's 1 of 5 from downtown, but Ole Miss up 9 on Mississippi State, guys.
Dari, thank you much. The story here, South Carolina, Missouri. The Tigers up 18-9 as we look at the news and notes around the Southeastern Conference. Marshall Henderson back on track. Went through a little bit of a rut in the early part of conference play. How about Devontae Fitzgerald, freshman of the week, averaging 16.5 points per game.
Florida and Kentucky riding long winning streaks. Kentucky's already added to their win streak total today. Florida trying to take care of Tennessee. Vols have given the Gators a lot of trouble the last 5 or 6 years.
We know about Kentucky and Florida. I'm waiting to see what other teams are going to step up in this league as we get closer and closer to February.
Yeah, it looked like Missouri as we came out of non-conference play, but the Tigers have stumbled a bit. Tennessee and LSU were thought to be strong contenders entering the season. Neither of those teams have played quite up to expectations, but looking for another team or two to develop in the NCAA tourney contenders out of the SEC.
Quick feet and almost tight roping the sideline was Brenton Williams. Now the most storied conference in college athletics will live on a new network. Tradition has found a new home, the SEC Network, launching August of this year. For more information, go to getsecnetwork.com.
Zone defense has been pretty effective for South Carolina. Missouri sometimes has not gotten the basketball into the middle of this zone and has had trouble as a result.
Loose ball. Missouri corrals it. Shot clock winding down to 5. Going to have to launch here. And spinning out, and that's going to be an offensive goaltending, I believe. It will be indeed. It'll be South Carolina basketball.
That was going in, but I'm not sure whether it was, that you had Kevichus and Rosberg both there. I'm not sure which one touched it. It did look like Rosberg got a finger on it there. So good call. Take the 3 away from Missouri.
Gamecocks with all 9 points coming from the guards. Thornwell and Brenton Williams still not a single point from any of the front court players. They try to go inside to Henry. Thornwell with 5 to shoot.
The matchup zone defense for Missouri. They do a nice job out of that defense.
Tigers on the run out. Brown hacked and fouled. He'll go to the line for a chance for 3 the hard way.
Well, these Missouri guards so tough around the basket. Wes Clark, a nice job pushing it ahead. And Jabari Brown taking the contact, finishing strong at the rim. Jabari Brown leading the SEC in scoring, just over 19 points a game. Can do it inside and outside.
leading the SEC in scoring, can't hit the free throw. Here come the Gamecocks. We talked about the lack of production for the big men. This was against Georgia just the other night, combining for 3 points, 18 fouls, and 1 of 11 from the field. They go inside here.
As a result of that lack of production, Frank Martin going a little bit smaller, started a smaller group today. Gamecocks really struggling around the basket.
You're not going to get a better look if you're Demetrius Henry. Another jump ball. I can't remember the last time, Barry, in 11 minutes of basketball, we've seen 4 jump balls called.
Middle school girls basketball?
I haven't called many of those lately, but I'm sure that has happened in a few of those.
I think the officials have been a little bit quick on that jump ball call. You call the jump ball if there's a travel, if the offensive player leaves his feet, comes back down, still holding the basketball with the defender capping it, but the ball just gets knocked away. Play on.
Makevicius setting up the tray from Brenton Williams, who delivers.
Offensive rebounding for South Carolina, helping the Gamecocks stay in this game.
And today's game brought to you by Puerto Rico Tourism Company. Live your own star vacation story. Puerto Rico, the all-star island. Visit cpuertorico.com. Ryan Rosberg back in the game for Missouri. Torrin Jones will get a breather. Jordan Clarkson, one of 3 transfers in the starting lineup for Missouri. A lane violation on South Carolina. I think they got Carrera, who says, who, me? And Frank Martin. That is a look that you've seen a lot of out of Frank the last couple of years.
I think his hair was black when he got the job at South Carolina. It's aging him, this experience as head coach of the Gamecocks.
Clarkson, an 80% free throw shooter. An empty trip at the line.
A 1-and-1 situation. He got 2 cracks at hitting the front end. Jordan Clarkson unable to get it down, and South Carolina kind of hanging around here.
Skip pass to Williams, spot and fire. And over the backboard, out of bounds. You really have to get so many points, South Carolina does, out of Williams and Thornwell, because you know there's just not many other places the scoring is going to come from.
And Brenton Williams had an open teammate. He had Mackey open in the corner. Faked the pass there, but Williams knows that he is a much more productive scorer. Tried to take it on himself to be aggressive and hit a shot.
Here's Williams on a steal. Williams hacked and fouled, and he'll go to the line for 2. It's not very often you can say this about a player in college basketball, but Brenton Williams, money in the bank at the line this year. More on that when we return.
You'll probably never bat in the 9th inning of Game 7. Or have to make a shot with 20,000 fans screaming at you. Or choreograph an original touchdown dance. But you do have a sport, and every weekend is your chance to take the field. Lowe's, never stop improving.
With Vonage, you can talk all you want from your home phone and your mobile phone, so calling from anywhere is just like calling from home.
So calling on the go costs the same as calling from my house?
One low monthly rate from anywhere.
You get unlimited calling?
Yes, in the U.S., to Mexico, India, and more.
I'm going to call my grandkids.
Great idea, Dada. Go to Vonage.com and get 1 calling plan for both of your phones.
This is crazy!
Crazy generous!
Down by 2, just under 30 seconds left in regulation. Allen brings it up the court. He dribbles left and passes it to Smith. Smith makes a move to the corner. He's cut off to the lane. He's looking. He finds James slicing in the basket. James shoots, misses. Gets it back, balls loose. Allen picks it up. 2 defenders around him. Final seconds. Allen pump fakes 3, 2, throws up a desperation 3.
We're
official chicken of sports fans. Zaxby's, indescribably good.
College basketball is presented by Visa. Everywhere you want to be.
To the guys who grow facial hair and make life more interesting, don't let gray trash your stash. Just for Men mustache and beard. 5 easy minutes, gray is gone. Grow on, you champions of facial hair. Just for Men.
Knicks, Celtics. Live coverage begins Tuesday night at 7 on MSG Network.
20-12, Missouri on top of South Carolina with 7:59 to play in the first half. As we take a look at our Toyota SEC leaders, the man who's about to toe the line, Brenton Williams, 98%. That is not a typo. He is 50 of 51 on the year. I mean, Relaford, Gaines, Harrell, those are great numbers. They pale in comparison to 98%. He missed one free throw against LSU. And at one point, he hit 50 consecutive free throws, which broke the record of one John Roach at South Carolina. You're talking about the Holy Grail now. That's John Roach is on the Mount Rushmore of Gamecock basketball, along with the likes of Frank McGuire, maybe Alex English, B.J. Mackey, the all-time leading scorer, whose son is in the game right now, number 20, Justin Mackey.
Brenton Williams so good at the foul line that even the announcer jinx fails against him.
Right. I always tell people that when people accuse us of that, the good ones never seem to be bothered by it.
Yes.
It's the guys that are shooting 58%, they get jinxed. Gamecock staying in the zone here. Tough shot. And a rebound in traffic by Hakevicius.
This South Carolina zone has given the Tigers a lot of trouble. Gamecocks chipping away, got the lead down to 6 with the ball, and they've given themselves a chance when it looked like Missouri was just going to run away with this ball game.
Hakevicius inside, and there's a bucket for a post player for the Gamecocks.
Hey, things are going well for the Gamecocks here in Columbia, Missouri today.
Carolina in the midst of a 7-0 run. Don't look now. We have ourselves a 4-point game. Clarkson. Boy, he's tough.
But that's a tough shot. I think the Gamecocks will settle for South Carolina getting those 12, 14-foot floaters much better than the offense that Missouri had going early in the game against South Carolina's man-to-man defense when the Missouri Tigers were getting to the basket, getting three-point shots.
Travel there. That started with a shaky pass from Notice and led to the steps on Mackey. A lot of pressure when your dad is the all-time leading scorer in school history. Needless to say, there's some lofty expectations for Justin Mackey.
And Justin Mackey, given time, I think he will be a solid college basketball player. But as you say, with B.J. Mackey as dad and all that B.J. did in the late mid-90s at South Carolina, that is a tough act to follow.
You and I have seen enough SEC games to remember B.J. He was a tough guard in this league. Good take to the basket, off the window and in for Dwayne Notice, the Canadian. And quickly on the other end, Carrera meeting Jabari Brown at the rim. Terrific defense there from Michael Carrera.
I think Jabari Brown thought he was going to get the foul called here. He really didn't have a chance to make that dunk. He was never in position to get that down. Carrera aggressive, going for the block shot and getting possession, or denying Brown anyway, the two at the basket.
In the corner, this is Ross. It's good. And they've got 3 guys that can score at any time with Clarkson, Brown, and Ernest Ross.
Better execution from Missouri against that South Carolina zone that last trip, getting in the middle, pitching it out to a teammate.
Brown on the breakaway to Ross, who lays it in.
Nice pass by Jabari Brown in traffic. Ernest Ross with the finish, and Missouri getting back in control. Opening right in the middle of the lane. South Carolina can flash a guy in there, try and create a scoring opportunity by getting into the middle of the lane.
And Williams draws the foul. How about the last block?
Yeah, not often that you see a jump shot get blocked. Rosberg able to crowd the shooter, get a hand on that shot, and start the fast break for Missouri. Jabari Brown with a beautiful pass to Ernest Ross. Ross scoring in traffic.
Mackey, alley-oop pass. And offensive foul called on the Gamecocks.
Wow, tough break for South Carolina. Another basket for a big guy inside. Notice the nice pass there. I don't know about that one.
They call that on Kevichus?
No, I thought it was on the guard. Notice leaving his feet on that pass, crashing into Rosberg.
Okay.
But not a lot of contact there.
Inside, nifty move by the big man, Ryan Rosberg.
Jordan Clarkson very effective when he gets into the paint and finds a teammate for a shot. The Missouri offense has been much more effective trying to pass once they get into the lane instead of trying to finish with a floater.
Tigers on a 6-0 run. Notice with 5 to shoot. Mackey on air ball. And then a bump foul. Just fouling with his hands right there. Missouri will have a trip to the free throw line when we return. It's the Tigers up by 10.
Mine was earned orbiting the moon in 1971.
Afghanistan in 2009.
On the USS Saratoga in 1982.
Once it's earned, USAA Auto Insurance is often handed down from generation to generation because it offers a superior level of protection and because USAA's commitment to serve current and former military members and their families is without equal. Begin your legacy. Get an auto insurance quote. USAA. We know what it means to serve.
Sunday, immediately following the Knicks and Lakers. Tune to the network that knows your team best. Join Bill Pito, Ellen Hahn, and Wally Zerbiak for Geico Knicks Extra, presented by Cadillac. Sunday after the game, only on MSG Network.
This is one of the best teams that Syracuse have had. Tyler Anderson chose the game. CJ just playing like a player of the year. You never know on any given night who's going to give you what, and that's a scary part.
Number 2 Syracuse battles Wake Forest. Wednesday at 9 on MSG+, part of the Big Week presented by Visa. Tonight, before they battle it out in the Bronx, MSG gets you ready for the first ever outdoor NHL games in New York. Hockey Night Live, Stadium Series Edition. Tonight at 8:30 on MSG, part of MSG's Big Week presented by Visa. The moments.
Clearly, Mark Kaminsky, new coach, Mike Keenan.
The drama. The glory. Road to victory. The story of the 94 Rangers. Sunday night at 7:30 on MSG, part of the Big Week presented by Visa. Thursday night.
Guess who's coming to dinner?
An all-new episode.
All right, you better be funny.
New guests.
I was at that game.
Were you?
No, I lied.
Same JB.
Hey, Ralph! I was just laying it out.
Maybe you could take him.
No.
Jaden. Jaden's the new Karate Kid.
Because he wants to do movies with Jaden's father.
In New York, you can have it all.
4 courses with JB Smoove, presented by Visa. Catch an all-new episode Thursday at 11:30, following Knicks Cavs on MSG.
I'm back, baby.
Well, coming up at the halftime, the C Spire halftime report. Number 6 Florida in action right now, leading Tennessee in the first half. Number 14, Kentucky rolling against the Georgia Bulldogs, and we'll preview a couple of SEC games coming up. Auburn taking on Arkansas, and LSU against Alabama. I'll tell you what, I've got Alabama coming up a couple of times, including a week from today, hosting Tennessee on ESPN2. I want to see which Alabama team is going to show up. A lot of people wondering what this Crimson Tide team is made of this year under Anthony Grant.
And as the case with so many SEC teams at home, the Crimson Tide is really strong. Get them away from Coleman Coliseum, and the Tide seems to struggle.
Clarkson knocks down the first on a 1-and-1. Relaford's one of the top guards you'll see play for Alabama, but they too have had some issues in the paint.
Yes, yes, not a lot of production out of their big guys. Ole Miss playing some good basketball. They're also a nice start against Mississippi State today. Get you up to date on all that activity. The C Spire halftime report.
Bulldogs beat Ole Miss earlier this year in Starkville. Ole Miss will try to return the favor. Thornwell has it knocked out of bounds by Clarkson with 15 on the shot clock.
And Thornwell 0, and Garnett and Brenton Williams #1 has been the story for South Carolina offensively. Only 4 points otherwise for the Gamecocks. 14 of the 18 coming from those two guards, Williams and Thornwell. Shot clock down.
Down to 3. Notice Thornwell at the buzzer. Too strong, and Clarkson flies in for the board. Ross draws the foul. As it rattles off the rim, he'll go to the line for a pair.
Missouri is taking control of this game once again. Nice drive there by Ernest Ross, a transfer from Auburn. His second season here in Columbia. Had a chance to talk with him this afternoon at practice. Delightful young man working on his MBA here at Missouri. Taking advantage of the 5 years in school after the transfer from Auburn.
The transfers have never been higher in college basketball, and Missouri is living proof of that. You have Ross from Auburn. You have Jabari Brown, a transfer from Oregon. And Clarkson was a transfer from Tulsa. So 3 of their 5 starters are all transfers.
This Missouri roster has turned over a ton. You see the challenges that Frank Martin is having trying to rebuild that roster. Frank Haith at Missouri has handled that situation remarkably well and had 3 very talented teams that he has put on the court for the Missouri Tigers.
Thornwell just trying to get something done. Gamecocks down by 14 and Missouri on a 10-0 run. Open 3. Got it. Wes Clark, the freshman by way of Detroit, Michigan.
Build a nice lead. Everybody's a lot more relaxed, a lot more comfortable. Wes Clark knocking out that jump.
And Carrera drawing a foul, going in for the rebound. I think they got post.
Yep.
And that is only the 4th team foul on Missouri. So no free throws upcoming. Henry will trigger it. Carrera. The Gamecocks just can't buy anything other than shots from Thornwell and Williams. And then Ross draws the foul, count the basket.
Ernest Ross among the leaders in scoring in the SEC, 4th among active players in the SEC as far as points that they have scored. And Ernest Ross doing a great job driving it to the basket. You're just not going to get those charge calls for the most part around the basket on a player taking it to the rim. And Ernest Ross getting the three-point play the old-fashioned way.
Got to be there earlier defensively than ever before in college basketball to draw that charge.
As long as the offensive player is under control, it's just not going to be a charge. The defensive player has to be completely set when the offensive player begins his upward motion. The different interpretation on the rule this year that if you've been watching college basketball, you've heard some about. If that is the situation, it's very difficult to draw a charge on a guy going to the basket.
I know a lot of people don't like the added whistles. I will say this about the new rules. There's a good reason behind them as Thornwell can't hit. Carrera battling. Carrera drawing the foul and count it. Hoop in the harm for the sophomore, Michael Carrera. That snaps a 15-0 run by Missouri.
Carrera, a nose for the basketball, battling Keanu Post, unable to come up with a rebound, and Carrera getting him off balance, drawing that foul. Well done by Michael Carrera.
Free throw can't fall. The lead is 18 for Missouri.
Missouri has taken advantage of their opportunities to get out in transition, get some fast break baskets. They've done a nice job driving into the lane, especially when South Carolina has played man defense, creating scoring opportunities. Tigers just so tough with all the ball handlers and scorers that they have on the perimeter.
Three ball rattles out, and the rebound to Carolina. Under a minute to go in the first half. Rejection. Jonathan Williams took the air out of the ball. Long range three from Williams. Offensive rebound, Kevichus. Shot clock is off.
This matchup zone, Missouri has forced South Carolina into several difficult shots at the end of the shot clock. South Carolina able to come up with the offensive board, though, and get the last shot of the half.
And a bump foul on the perimeter by Shane Rector. That's his first. And finally, the Gamecocks get into the 1-and-1. That's the 17th foul.
And the guy you'd want at the foul line, South Carolina, only 2 points in the last 7 minutes or so of this half.
I mentioned what was the impetus for the rule changes. Last year in college basketball, the average point total was 67.5. That was the lowest total since 1952. So the rules, while sometimes it can take away from the flow of a game, they're trying to get freedom of movement back into college basketball, which I think most of us do want.
Yes, trying to make this a non-contact sport again. And you would think all the whistles would cause the players to keep their hands off, to not commit so many fouls, but the fouls keep coming.
Well, Brenton Williams continues. I don't know, how many more do you have to make to get to 99%? He's at 98%. He's perfect today at the free throw line. Brenton Williams doing everything he can to keep this a ball game. He, along with Sindarius Thornwell. For Missouri, it's been the usual suspects, Clarkson, Brown, and Ernest Ross leading the way. To see what Brown and Clarkson have done thus far. 14 points, 4 of 11 from the field, but overall, those two so dangerous. All three of those guards have had games of at least 28 points or more. So pick your poison.
And Clarkson and Brown have been in double figures every game this season. Amazing consistency from the Missouri backcourt.
Clarkson has it go out of bounds with 0.5 left. All right, Barry, I'll let you draw up this play.
Let's send Jonathan Williams to the rim, lob it to him, and hope that he can tip it in or get fouled.
I like it. I like it.
And if you don't get that, Jabari Brown at the three-point line for a desperation heat.
Well, you called it. It was to post instead, but the big man can't finish. Not a bad play drawn up by Frank Haith.
Yeah, very nice with only half second left. South Carolina should have been looking even harder for that play to come. Prevent that from happening.
38-22 our halftime score. The C Spire halftime report is up next. Question has to be for half number 2, what do the Gamecocks have to do to get back into this game?
Well, they got to make some shots. I mean, 26% from the field. They've had some good opportunities, just not getting them home.
As we take a look at our Shelter Insurance first half highlights.
Missouri was tough from three-point range. They're 4 out of 9 from three-point land so far in this ball game, and doing a great job pushing it in transition. Jabari Brown here getting to the basket for the layup. Good defense by Missouri. Rosberg with a block shot, sharing the basketball. Brown to Ross for the finish. Tigers clicking on all cylinders. Gamecocks not clicking. Sindarius Thornwell losing it out of bounds. The clank inside from Henry. And then the Gamecocks just getting used to rejection here at the Mizzou Arena. Jonathan Williams with the big block shot.
And there you take a look at the numbers. And the one that jumps off the page, obviously 7 of 27 from the field. You can do a lot of things right, but if you're shooting that poorly, it's hard to win a basketball game.
And that's just a personnel situation. South Carolina doesn't have the playmakers and shot makers, even though they're playing hard, doing a good job defensively for the most part. Just don't have those playmakers to keep them in this ball game with the mighty Missouri Tigers.
First 4 minutes of the second half, so crucial, particularly for the team who's trailing at the half. We'll see how the opening minutes of half number 2 wind up for each team. Missouri basketball first. Again, Tigers in white. Gamecocks in garnet. Missouri 42-2 at home. Under head coach Frank Haith.
A surprising loss earlier this month to the Georgia Bulldogs here in this building. Open SEC play with that loss. The Tigers trying to get back on track, trying to lift their record to 500 in the league.
There's that man, Jabari Brown, on the triple. He shoots 45% from behind the arc, and now a steal by Clarkson.
Had the numbers, the Tigers didn't spread out very well, end up with a difficult jumper instead of a layup.
There's that man. It goes back to the same 2 guys for Carolina, Thornwell and Brenton Williams. I think it's so interesting about Brenton Williams and fun to watch. He's essentially a 5'11" 2-guard on this team.
Yes, the Gamecocks looking for anyone who can put the ball in the basket, and Brenton Williams capable of doing that.
Foul on Henry as Williams goes for the stuff.
Brenton Williams, a game late last year, he scored 38 points. A home game for the Gamecocks.
That's the first foul on Demetrius Henry. And Williams lays a brick on the first.
Freshman Jonathan Williams. Going to be a very good player already, as a solid player, averaging 7.7 rebounds a game for the Tigers. A productive guy inside who will just get better and better as this year goes.
Williams off a curl. In the trees, almost made an acrobatic shot. Instead, he'll go to the line for a pair.
Brenton Williams, so good from the foul line. Throwing his body around inside to get to the line where it's a sure 2 for the Gamecocks.
First foul on Clarkson. Brenton Williams now a perfect 5 for 5. 55 of 56 on the year. I can't recall a player at any level with that number.
It's remarkable. You're asking about the 99%. When he gets into the high 60s, if he's at 68 out of 69, somewhere in that range is when the rounding will take him up to 99%. Just phenomenal what he's doing from the line.
You notice I was leaning on you for that kind of stellar math. Thank you, Barry Booker. I sure as heck wasn't going to take a stab at it. Gamecocks back in the zone. And Kaichenis the rebound of the miss.
And the zone defense again for South Carolina. Effective.
How about that? Carrera fouled on the three, hits it. A chance for the rare 4-point play.
Carrera here along the baseline. It looked like there wasn't a whole lot of contact there, just a little bit. That's typically a play-on situation, but Carrera, he let go of the shot, so the touch on the arm really didn't affect that shot so much, but Carrera benefiting and completing the 4-point play.
Michael Carrera, they want him to expand his game. He had to play the 4 last year, playing more small forward this year. 4-point play shaves the lead down to 11 for Missouri, and now a 3-second violation on the Tigers. Rosberg pitching a tent in the lane.
And South Carolina with this zone defense slowing down the pace a bit, clogging things up for Missouri at their offensive end of the court, and if the Gamecocks can manage to generate some offense and work their way back into this ballgame.
Carrera backing down, goes to work. Everything but the bucket, and then took a shot in the face. Either the nose or the eye, either way, he's in serious pain.
And did we get the foul for the blow to the face? We're gonna get to take a look at that.
That's what the officials are doing right now. Carrera with a nice move, can't finish, and then I'm pretty sure they're going to call that incidental. Now, see, it's that second swing, but he doesn't, when he swings the elbow, he doesn't connect.
Yeah, it's just going up for the rebound, and on his way down, he caught Carrera in the face. So very likely a foul on Missouri. In the old days, that would have more likely gone against Carrera for reaching in. The officials and the rule makers in college basketball trying to make the game more safe.
Absolutely. They're going to look at our monitors here, so we are now providing a TV sanctuary for our officiating crew. And the officials have looked at it. Well, they used our monitors, but they didn't give us the verdict.
Yeah. I guess they confirmed what they saw on the other side of the court, that just incidental contact there with Jonathan Williams bringing down that rebound, and Missouri will get the basketball. So Carrera fouling Williams with his face, apparently. Never a smart move.
Hand check foul. Seen more of that this year in college basketball. Brown in the penetration. And the foul on Williams. 18 fouls now on the Gamecocks, with 17-12 remaining. Still an 11-point game. Hardly over at this point. Gamecocks just need to pick up another run or two.
Gamecocks back in a man-to-man defense on this trip, and Missouri has been much more comfortable and much more efficient offensively against South Carolina's man defense.
Clarkson tapped out, and a fresh 35. Won't need it. Open three is good for Clarkson.
Great job by Rosberg, tapping it back out, and Clarkson getting the payoff. Gamecocks having a lot of trouble with Missouri's matchup zone defense. Try to get it into the middle of this zone defense to break it down. You can flash a big guy in there or drive the basketball into the paint. South Carolina just passing it around the perimeter and not getting much done.
Shot clock at 1, and Thornwell can't get it off in time. Notice will check in for Carrera. Now, like you said, Barry, the zone right now stymieing South Carolina on offense.
Yeah, you can almost go ahead and run your man-to-man offense against a matchup zone defense. The Gamecocks need to do something to create some movement offensively.
Got to get a hand in that man's face, Jabari Brown, and a quick timeout called by Frank Martin. Missouri heating up from three-point range. Jordan Clarkson starting to pick it up offensively. Jabari Brown on a triple, and the Tigers' lead is 17.
What's different at Red Lobster? New table for two. Everyone's favorite flavors. With 2 salads, 2 entrees, plus an appetizer or dessert to share. All just $29.99. Offer ends soon, so come to Red Lobster and see food differently.
At GMC, one incredible idea leads to another. Like the all-new GMC Sierra with an innovative cargo bed and LED lighting. A quiet cabin no competitor can beat. And 2 years of scheduled maintenance. Incredible thinking in the form of a truck. Current GM owners trade up to this all-new specially equipped 2014 Sierra SLE for a total value of $5,250.
So with Vonage Home Phone Service, you get unlimited calling in the U.S. and to over 60 countries from this phone and from this phone.
On my home phone and my mobile phone?
One calling plan, 2 phones.
Esto y esto?
Sí, y sí.
Really? 2 phones?
One low monthly rate, you got it.
On this phone.
And this one?
Yes, and pretend yes. Go to Vonage.com and get 1 calling plan for both of your phones.
That's crazy.
Crazy generous.
What's different at Red Lobster? New table for two. Everyone's favorite flavors. With 2 salads, 2 entrees, plus an appetizer or dessert to share. All just $29.99. Offer ends soon, so come to Red Lobster and see food differently.
Nissan Altima is a pretty clear choice with an extra set of eyes, plus fuel economy that'll let you leave the world of everyday sedans behind. Choose Altima just $189 per month. Shop at ChooseNissan.com. The 2013 Nissan Sentra. It'll keep you moving and connected. Life at the top is pretty good. Choose Sentra just $159 per month. Come and get it! It's a great choice. Shop at ChooseNissan.com.
Missouri up 17, thanks in large part to that dynamic duo of Brown and Clarkson.
SEC has several dynamic duos this year, none better than these two. Jabari Brown knocking out the jumpers outside. Both of them have done a nice job getting into the lane, scoring, and setting up their teammates. Clarkson here with that three-point shot. Then you got K2 Harrell and his buddy down at Auburn. You got Marshall Henderson and Jarvis Summers at Ole Miss. Some strong duos in the SEC. It's Chris Denson, and K.T. Harrell down at Auburn. Those 6 guys among the top 7 or 8 scorers in the SEC.
Thornwell, too quick on the feet. The freshman will fine-tune that move. The Gamecocks down by 17, 15:42 to play in Columbia.
In my world, Wall isn't a street.
Return on investment isn't the only return I'm looking forward to.
For some, every dollar is earned with sweat, sacrifice, courage, which is why USAA is honored to help our members with everything from investing for retirement to saving for college. Our commitment to current and former military members and their families is without equal. Start planning your future. Get the guide that meets your needs today.
You'll probably never bat in the 9th inning of Game 7. Or have to make a shot with 20,000 fans screaming at you. Or choreograph an original touchdown dance. But you do have a sport, and every weekend is your chance to take the field. Lowe's, never stop improving.
This is SEC football. You don't cheer for your team. You live for your team. Passion is worn like a badge of honor. So everyone knows what side you're on. But also because it looks good. The SEC on ESPN collection. Proud to be SEC. Apparel and hats available at Hibbett Sports and online at Hibbett.com. Game tested, athlete approved.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state, this may be the most important phone call you'll ever make.
I owed $50,000 in taxes. But listen.
Your tax problem is settled. You only owe $8,400.
What a great message.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state, then you owe it to yourself to call this number. Let our experts help guide you through the process of negotiating a tax settlement. Call this number or go to tax10000.com.
And the most storied conference in college athletics will live on a new network. Tradition has found a new home, the SEC Network, launching in August of this year. For more information, go to getsecnetwork.com. Alongside the sharpshooting Barry Booker, I'm Mike Morgan. Great to be with you here at the Mizzou Arena. It seats about 15,000, a great crowd on hand. One of the better environments in the SEC for basketball. It's been a great addition to this conference in a number of sports, including football. Turnover, and Kaitchanis can't hit the bunny. Clarkson draws the foul on the other end.
You never want to save the basketball unless you have a teammate to pass it to under your opponent's basket. South Carolina, an easy opportunity there. Kaitchanis, this is why you use the backboard in this situation. If you go to the glass, the ball will hit the front of the rim first, which is a lot softer. Ball more likely to go in. Kaitchanis tried to lay it straight in. It hit the back of the rim. That's the stiff part of the rim. That ball just ricocheted right back out of it.
And he'll have a chance to think about it on the bench as he gives way to Hakevicius, the other Lithuanian, both sophomores. Meanwhile, Clarkson heating up for Missouri. And the lead is 19.
Williams getting a rest right now, so Thornwell really the only scoring threat on the court for South Carolina at this point. 0 in Garnet.
Shot clock under 5. Thornwell launches a 3 and knocks it right between the eyes of Clarkson.
Tigers need to make sure they get after that guy with this lineup in for South Carolina. Thornwell's the main threat. Missouri let him loose, knocked out the long jumper.
He is a silky smooth freshman. Pinball action, and the Gamecocks pick it up.
Great hustle that time. That was Brian Steele able to knock it away, and here he is with the shot.
Tap in once. Thornwell picks it up. Here's Shaw on a 3. Well, the Gamecocks have had plenty of good looks today, but still struggling to hit them from outside and from up close. Missouri taking its time on offense, and then Brown draws the foul on the dribble drive.
Big lead for Missouri now. South Carolina just slipping into the man-to-man defense and trying to fight their way back into the ball game.
5 team fouls now on Carolina with 13:52 to play.
Really impressed with these Missouri guards. They are big players. Jabari Brown and Clarkson and Ross, those three guys are big physical guards. And Clarkson really is. He's listed at 6'5", and he is all that. He said he's probably more like 6'6".
Jabari Brown, who goes 6'5" with the blow-by. And an easy path to the basket.
A lot of times those heights in the program are a little bit exaggerated. But the Missouri guards living up to what's in the program. They are big physical players.
Soft feathery touch there by Hakevicius. Batted around and knocked out of bounds. Missouri basketball. We know Jabari Brown can shoot from outside. How about this move?
He can handle it as well. Iverson-like, crossing over Sindarius Thornwell, getting to the basket. Slick move by Jabari Brown, high-scoring junior for the Gamecocks, or for the Tigers.
Frank Haith telling us this morning that for Jabari Brown, he was good last year. He's so much better this year. The reason being shot selection. Now he's taking better shots and making more of them. There's a real interesting stat on Brown and Clarkson. Those two have been in double figures every game this year, going on 19. Last time a Missouri player did that, Kareem Rush with 21 in a row. As the Gamecocks force another turnover. There's a name from the past, Kareem Rush.
An impressive name from the past. Brian still hustling off that South Carolina bench. Getting another possession for the Gamecocks.
Notice. Hakevicius kicks it out, and the open three is drilled by Brian Steele, the sophomore by way of Greenville, South Carolina.
He can do that. Brian Steele, a good-looking shooter for the Gamecocks.
This game has a weird feel to it. It feels like Missouri is dominating in every way possible, and yet it's still a game. It's only 13 points. Plenty of time to play. And Frank Haith realizes that and burns a timeout.
He agrees with you.
I guess so.
Missouri is absolutely dominating the action, controlling this game, but South Carolina hanging around.
The Gamecocks, I mean, it hasn't been pretty. This has not been a Rembrandt for the Gamecocks offensively today. They miss shots, turnovers. This one right here, I mean, you've got to have that if you're Kaitchanis. Open three missed, tap in missed. Wide open three missed. It's just been that kind of day offensively, and yet it's still a ball game. And, you know, we mentioned the attrition for the Gamecocks. You see the numbers for today's game, 32%, 9 turnovers. This is what's happened over the last 2 years. Harris and Gill, who would no doubt be starters, they've already transferred to Florida and Virginia, respectively. Damian Leonard was a top 100 recruit. Eric Smith transferred. Ty Johnson, one of their leading scorers, broke his foot earlier in the year. And we talked about Bruce Ellington has decided to focus exclusively on football. And what that has left Frank Martin with is a bunch of freshmen and sophomores, along with Brent Williams.
Frank Martin out hitting the recruiting trail, trying to get some better inside guys to go along with these solid guards that he's brought in.
Open the horn for Williams. He'll have a chance at three when we return. 54-39, Tigers on top.
Shelter Insurance has covered a lot of miles and a lot of cars and drivers since 1946. We like knowing we have you covered, so you can just sit back and enjoy the ride. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
This moment, it's been 40 years in the making. Passing the torch from father to son is why your family partnered with Regions in the first place. From succession planning to your first day as CEO, Regions shares your vision for moving forward. And at moments like this, that makes all the difference. Is your business at a turning point? Turn to Regions.
Sunday, immediately following the Rangers-Devils battle in the Bronx. Tune to MSG for highlights and analysis, plus locker room reaction from Yankee Stadium. The Stadium Series postgame presented by Mercedes-Benz. Sunday on MSG Network. Part of MSG's Big Week presented by Visa. Sunday, immediately following the Knicks and Lakers. Tune to the network that knows your team best. Join Bill Pito, Ellen Hahn, and Wally Zerbiak for Geico Knicks Extra, presented by Cadillac. Sunday after the game, only on MSG Network. Thursday night.
Guess who's coming to dinner?
An all-new episode.
All right, you better be funny.
New guests.
I was at that game.
Were you?
No, I lied.
Same JB.
Hey, Ralph! I was just laying it out.
Jimmy could take him.
No, Jaden. Jaden's the new Karate Kid.
Because he wants to do movies with Jaden's father.
In New York, you can have it all.
4 courses with JB Smoove, presented by Visa. Catch an all-new episode Thursday at 11:30, following Knicks Cavs on MSG.
I'm back, baby.
Dory Noka in studio, checking around the SEC. The Egg Bowl there in Oxford. Watch Ole Miss and Marshall Henderson. Rebels force the steal. Henderson takes it away, and then he throws down 2 of his 15. Rebels rolling right now on Mississippi State. Now, Tennessee and Florida. One-sided since about the 8-minute mark of the first half. All Gators up 21 in the second on Tennessee.
Dari, thanks. More evidence of really, if you start breaking this conference up in tiers, Florida and Kentucky, not only tops in terms of standings, but I mean, really, when you watch everybody play in this 14-team league, Barry, there's such a line of demarcation between those two and everybody else.
No question about that. And we're kind of hunting for those teams that fall into that next tier, teams that will be contenders to make the NCAA tournament. Looks like Tennessee will be among that group, although they're getting rolled down in Gainesville today.
LSU and, of course, this Missouri squad hoping to be in good shape for an NCAA tournament if they can continue to enhance that resume.
Taking a step in that direction so far today, but they need to close the deal here at home.
Shot clock at 6. It's Thornwell. Straightaway bomb. And a foul down low on Missouri.
Nice block out by Carrera. Got great position inside. Jonathan Williams got caught reaching over the back. Another trend that we've talked about in the SEC, the home teams are dominating this year, winning about 69% of the games. It seems like it's more than that, but that's pretty close to the long-term average, around 65% wins for the home team.
Thornwell, tough shot, twisting in midair.
A lot of tough places to play around the Southeastern Conference, and not many better than this here. Columbia, Missouri, the Mizzou Arena, a beautiful facility. The Tigers are tough to beat in this house.
Nifty move, but Clarkson left it short. Here come the Gamecocks the other way. Thornwell. Around the horn to Williams. Boy, he's got a pretty stroke, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. Nice looking shot there, Brenton Williams. And Mizzou still only a 12-point ball game.
That'll be 14 now with a chance at 15. Williams on the foul. And another strong take by Jordan Clarkson.
All right, Jordan is getting up. Good news for the Tigers. And at the other end, it was Brenton Williams a few moments ago, knocking down that three-point shot. Williams, a 38% shooter, and Jordan Clarkson got caught in the face. I think Williams, a little elbow to the cheek there of Jordan Clarkson. Clarkson appears to be fine, stepping to the line for a chance to complete the three-point play.
That's the third foul on Brenton Williams. Clarkson from San Antonio, Texas. Three the hard way. The lead is back to 15.
Jordan Clarkson quietly, he hadn't not taken a lot of shots. Very efficient with his ability to put points on the board for the Tigers.
And they just got Thornwell on an offensive foul. That's his third.
Thornwell had a hold of Jordan Clarkson's jersey as he was trying to turn the corner.
Steal by Williams. And then an offensive foul by Dwayne Notice.
Nice job by Wes Clark holding his ground, taking that hit. Jabari Brown not strong with the basketball there, and then Notice once he came up with it, just kind of, all right, I got the ball, what am I gonna do? And backing in. Not a ton of contact there, but Wes Clark holding his spot, able to draw that foul.
One team fouls today on the Gamecocks, who are averaging 28 a game. Most of any team in the Southeastern Conference.
Right on track to get to that 28 number. And I mentioned earlier the points that they give up from the foul line may be their biggest problem at the defensive end of the court.
And now to compound problems, Thornwell just picked up his fourth, jockeying for position against Tony Criswell. You've got to have number 0 and number 1 on the floor to have any chance to come back in this game.
It looks like Thornwell is going to go out and they get the chance to make the sub here, but I would expect that he won't be out very long, as this is a desperate situation for the Gamecocks.
Already 10 team fouls this half, so double bonus for the final 9:25 of this game for Missouri. And you get a look at Dwayne Notice, who actually played AAU basketball with Mr. Wiggins over there at Kansas.
Pretty strong teammate, Andrew Wiggins. That's probably a solid AAU club.
I'm guessing they did pretty good on the Canadian circuit. Herrera wheels, deals, and draws the foul on Criswell. Now with Thornwell on the bench, we know Brenton Williams is going to get his touches. Somebody else in Garnet has to be a weapon offensively, and that man could be the guy at the free throw line, Michael Carrera, sophomore from Venezuela. He typically gives you high energy.
Hard-nosed, scrappy, strong hands. He is very effective around the basket, even though he's only about 6'5".
More in control this year, too. Last year, at times, he kind of resembled a bull in a china shop. This year, a little more fluid. Clarkson. Behind the back pass and a thunder dunk by Rosberg. Wow. Williams. And the rebound to Mizzou. Wide open three. And Carrera cradles the board.
big lead for Missouri. They're trying to close it out here in the latter stages of the game. Got a rebound.
Gosh, even when the Gamecocks are rebounding, they're missing it right up near the rim. Clarkson again.
Jordan Clarkson, so impressive. Patient, able to get to the basket and finish around the rim. Nice screen by Rosberg that last trip.
Williams with the triple. He's got 21.
In Missouri, their defense should really be focused on Brenton Williams, #1, in this lineup on the court for South Carolina. They've allowed him to shake loose and get several open jumpers today.
Clarkson with 6 to shoot. Williams again. Wow. He has as pretty a stroke as anybody in this conference. 24, a game high for the senior.
He gets it off in a hurry, and it is pure. He is open with those feet set. Brenton Williams very likely to knock down the jumper. Three-point shooting, accounting for 27 of South Carolina's 50 points today.
Jordan Clarkson now is just inventing shots and passes. And you're seeing his entire bag of tricks in this game. Carrera. Nice move by Michael Carrera.
And again, it seems that Missouri has controlled this game all day, but it's a 20-25 point margin, you would think, the way the game has been played, but South Carolina still only down a dozen.
That is so true. If you were playing guess the score, if the light bulbs went out on the scoreboard, you would think Missouri was up 30 right now.
Yeah. Missouri has had the highlight plays today, that's for sure. Jordan Clarkson controlling the action from the point for Missouri, and here he is getting fancy. Rosberg open in the corner. Jordan Clarkson able to spot him. Nifty, crafty Rosberg, the easy finish. South Carolina not letting Missouri off the hook easy. Brenton Williams continuing to fire away from downtown today.
That pass from Clarkson, shades of Barry Booker to Will Perdue right there. I'm telling you, 3-point field goals. Gamecocks are second of the SEC in 3-point shooting. That has really kept them in the game today. Missouri, 47%. And with Missouri, you've got so many different guys on the floor that it can come from.
Both these teams very effective beyond the 3-point line. SEC average about 34% from 3-point range. And both these teams very hot from deep today.
Right on cue.
Tari Brown from way out there on that one, about 23 feet. Tari having a nice day shooting it today.
Williams again, 3 for 3. He's got 27. And then quickly on the other end, it's Ross.
Will the Tigers get after Brenton Williams? Will they recognize that he's got the hot hand? He's the scoring threat. No.
3-on-1. And a timeout called by Frank Martin, who's saying, why is everybody not getting back on defense? Missouri on offense, hitting everything. Threes, layups. It's all rolling right now for the Tigers on offense.
The Tigers are hard to guard. They have those offensive weapons with Brown, Ross, Clarkson. Those three excellent guards creating easy scoring opportunities. The Tigers sharing the ball very well and completing those opportunities.
39 points for that duo, which is second in the SEC behind Harrell and Denson of Auburn. Well, a lot of fun to watch. Jabari Brown and Jordan Clarkson, both of whom are expected to be back next year. You've got two juniors who could be back in a Missouri uniform next season.
Clarkson and Brown, and it's really this entire Missouri team, very unselfish. They share the basketball extremely well. Doesn't seem to matter to them who gets the points.
A whistle on the floor, some condensation down low, and that'll bring us to a timeout with 4:45 to play. Missouri trying to pull away, up by 16.
Down by 2, just under 30 seconds left in regulation. Allen brings it up the court. He dribbles left and passes it to Smith. Smith makes a move to the corner. He's cut off to the lane. He's looking. He finds James Spicy in the basket. James shoots, misses. His step back, balls loose. Allen picks it up. Two defenders around him. Final seconds. Allen pump fakes. 3, 2, throws up a desperation 3.
We're proud to be the official chicken of sports fans. Zaxby's, indescribably good.
When we created C Spire, we found inspiration in the same values that inspire our customers. Bold leadership, intense passion, continual growth. And as we've grown, we've never lost sight of these principles. It's why we develop our wireless, fiber optic, and business solutions with your needs in mind. To us, you're not just a customer, you're our inspiration. C Spire, customer inspired.
Mine was earned orbiting the moon in 1971.
Afghanistan in 2009.
On the USS Saratoga in 1982.
Once it's earned, USAA Auto Insurance is often handed down from generation to generation because it offers a superior level of protection and because USAA's commitment to serve current and former military members and their families is without equal. Begin your legacy. Get an auto insurance quote. USAA. We know what it means to serve.
At GMC, one incredible idea leads to another. Like the all-new GMC Sierra with an innovative cargo bed and LED lighting. A quiet cabin no competitor can beat. And 2 years of scheduled maintenance. Incredible thinking in the form of a truck. Current GM owners trade up to this all-new specially equipped 2014 Sierra SLE for a total value of $5,250.
Missouri on top 71 to 55 with 4:45 to play in this one. The Mizzou Arena, we've talked about it. Barry, you and I have had a chance to call games over the years around the SEC. It's your first trip to this arena.
Yes.
It's my second. And I got to tell you, it is impressive to say the least. They have done a marvelous job with this building.
Yeah, this is a great place, a fantastic home environment, 15,000-seat arena, and they fill it up just about every occasion that the Tigers step on the court. It's a wonderful place to play basketball.
It seats just over 15,000, and they've watched Frank Haith amass 42 wins in 44 tries here at home.
It is so difficult to win away from home. As a former player, thinking back to why it is such a struggle on the road, you kind of feel like the whole world's against you when you walk into a place like this and the crowd is cheering like crazy. Everybody in here is pulling for the Missouri Tigers, and as a young guy, you kind of feel like, hey, there's nothing we can do. Everybody's against us.
Brenton Williams has been nothing short of spectacular. 29, a season high. His career high is 38 against Mississippi State a year ago.
South Carolina will take away this strong Brenton Williams performance and should have a little bit more confidence. They played with a lot of effort today. We're able to generate some offense behind Brenton Williams' strong jump shooting. But Missouri, just too many weapons for the Gamecocks. Demetrius Henry, nice shot block there on that Ernest Ross attempt.
count the basket. Sindarius Thornwell trying to keep the Gamecocks alive. The final 3:24 when we return.
What's different at Red Lobster? New table for two. Everyone's favorite flavors. With 2 salads, 2 entrees, plus an appetizer or dessert to share. All just $29.99. Offer ends soon, so come to Red Lobster and see food differently.
At GMC, one incredible idea leads to another. Like the all-new GMC Sierra with an innovative cargo bed and LED lighting. A quiet cabin no competitor can beat. And 2 years of scheduled maintenance. Incredible thinking in the form of a truck. Current GM owners trade up to this all-new specially equipped 2014 Sierra SLE for a total value of $52.50.
Shelter Insurance has covered a lot of miles and a lot of cars and drivers since 1946. We like knowing we have you covered, so you can just sit back and enjoy the ride. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
With Vonage, you can talk all you want from your home phone and your mobile phone, so calling from anywhere is just like calling from home.
So calling on the go costs the same as calling from my house?
One low monthly rate from anywhere.
You get unlimited calling?
Yes, in the U.S., to Mexico, India, and more.
I'm going to call my grandkids.
Great idea, Dada. Go to Vonage.com and get one calling plan for both of your phones.
This is crazy!
Crazy generous!
What's different at Red Lobster? New table for two. Everyone's favorite flavors. With 2 salads, 2 entrees, plus an appetizer or dessert to share. All just $29.99. Offer ends soon, so come to Red Lobster and see food differently.
Today's SEC game is brought to you by the all-new 2014 GMC Sierra. Incredible thinking in the form of a truck. 3 minutes, 24 seconds remaining. A game that has overall been dominated by Missouri, but not necessarily on the most important number, the scoreboard. You see what Missouri does at home under Frank Haith. This is about as big a difference. Obviously, everybody plays better at home, but 42-2 versus 11-14. I like that number at the bottom, too. One of the losses actually came to Frank Haith when he was at Kansas State.
Yes.
So Frank Martin has had some success in this building. As Coach Martin, with a stint at Kansas State, led the Wildcats to 4 NCAA tournaments, including 1 Elite 8 appearance.
The Tigers are amazing in this building. Nearly impossible to beat. South Carolina trying to trap, trying to get some turnovers here as they have trimmed the lead once again down to 11.
Nice pass from Brown and a slam dunk for Jonathan Williams.
Nice job by Jonathan Williams, taking it up strong, slamming it through. Missouri, it's been a battle. It looks like they're going to hold off South Carolina here in Columbia today. A nice spin move and drive by Jabari Brown, and unselfishly dropping it off to Jonathan Williams for the easy 2.
Really an underrated part of both those guys' games, Clarkson and Brown. Clarkson averages around 4 assists a game. Jabari Brown, you saw that last pass. They score a lot of points, but I don't think anybody would dare call them selfish players.
No question about it. Those two and this entire Missouri team, very unselfish. Brown and Clarkson, strong leaders. And this Missouri team, I think, is one that has a great chance to climb back up the ranks of the SEC and make their way to the NCAA tourney with what they did in non-league play. If they can get to 11 or 12 wins in the SEC, I think that'll be enough for an NCAA tourney bid.
Thornwell wants it. Thornwell's got it. Lead is cut to 11. Full court pressure here by the Gamecocks.
Nice job by Wes Clark staying under control. South Carolina was looking for an opportunity to run a double team at him as he crossed the midcourt line. He did a nice job continuing to keep his eyes toward the Missouri basket and passed it once the trap came.
Nice job by Carrera to get position. Rosberg turns into him, drawing his second foul. And there's only 16 fouls on Missouri. Minute 56 remaining. And every possession right now crucial if you're South Carolina if you want to stay in this.
Thornwell and Brenton Williams, the two guys for South Carolina. Carrera steps up with a jumper.
It is a single-digit lead now for Missouri.
Only 95 seconds left to play here. The Tigers in charge with that clock situation.
Clarkson. Rosberg going up strong. They'll give the foul to Henry. Rosberg, not a great free throw shooter, 67%.
Missouri really fortunate there. If the officials had let that go, that would have been South Carolina possibly coming up with a basketball, a chance to. It may be still like a turnover here, the way Rosberg is shooting these free throws. The Gamecocks are, a sliver of hope here. 89 seconds left, down 9.
Neither one of those look pretty, and now a 3 makes it a 6-point game. Nice pass by Thornwell, and Henry is fouled.
Wow, great D there by Rosberg. All basketball on that one, but kind of the automatic foul call with Rosberg out of position. He's able to get his hand on the basketball. We'll see if South Carolina can take advantage of that opportunity. Maybe a little bit of hand contact, but after the ball was knocked away, Henry, though, is knocking down the foul shots. 19% foul shooter.
That's a news flash in itself. He went a stretch where he missed 16 in a row.
That's hard to do.
That is tough. They love the future for this young man. He's just got to get stronger. Got to get some polish on the game. No polish needed for Carrera, who slithers in, grabs the board. He goes to the line. You realize if he hits these 2 free throws, it's a 6-point game.
This is remarkable. South Carolina has shown that fight, and Carrera, those strong hands, tough around the basket. He's able to come up with the basketball. And the Gamecocks trying to make this a 3-point trip from the foul line.
One thing you know about a Frank Martin team, they're not going to quit.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
And there has been no quit in this Gamecock team today. Solid game for Carrera.
Trying to make this a 2-possession game now, so they don't need to foul, but they do need to play very solid defense and rebound any shot that goes up. Going for the steal, of course, a trap as Missouri is just trying to milk this clock. As Frank Martin was looking for the foul there.
Third foul on Kaichenis. And again, Missouri will have the benefit of the double bonus the rest of the way, so a 2-shot foul. Wes Clark, a freshman, 67% on the year.
I thought that was a situation to just play that shot clock out, try and rebound the basketball, come down with still probably 40 seconds or so left. If you play that solid defense and get the rebound, you're down 6 with the basketball with quite a bit of time left, but South Carolina decides to try and extend the game, increase the number of possessions here, hope for some foul shot misses or turnovers from Missouri.
Carrera fouled, bad foul for Jordan Clarkson. It's the last thing you want to do if you're Missouri.
With Rosberg in great position to contest that shot. Jordan Clarkson, no need to reach in there. Clock stops, and South Carolina a chance to score from the line. Rosberg in great shape to contest that shot.
Gamecocks trying to avoid an 0-6 start in conference play. Missouri with a win would make it 3-3 in the SEC. Missouri has been a great addition to the league in football, of course, making the SEC championship game. The Gamecocks back-to-back 11-win seasons on the gridiron. Women's basketball team nationally ranked. People excited about baseball again. Out of bounds to the Gamecocks with 55.6 on the clock. A 3 here, and it's a 5-point game.
South Carolina, Herrera unable to connect on either shot, but at least the Gamecocks get another possession here. Brenton Williams and Thornwell on the far side of the court. Expect the ball to head into that side.
Thornwell didn't get his legs into that one. And a foul called on Thornwell with 51 seconds left. And if that's on Thornwell, that's all she wrote. It is indeed, and that'll do it for Sindarius Thornwell, who finishes with 14 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Another good effort for the true freshman. And now if Missouri does its job at the free throw line, they should hold on for their 15th win of the year. I mentioned Missouri's football program. The football stadium is right behind us, essentially, in this arena. And of course, welcome to the SEC. What are they doing? They're adding seats and suites.
And they got a fun athletic program to watch here at Missouri. It's a fantastic addition to the SEC. See if the Tigers can keep it rolling in all aspects of their program.
Carrera with the nice drive. And Frank Martin will burn his final timeout. 77-69. Talking about these two programs. For Missouri now, they really needed this one. You had to win this one at home. Now what is the future? Well, you got to prove you can win some of these games on the road, and that is a tough slate again. Look at those 5 straight games, Barry. It doesn't get more grueling than that.
Well, at Arkansas, probably the toughest place to travel to and try and come out with a win, and then you hit the top of the SEC standings with Kentucky and Florida. Ole Miss right up there in that group as well. So tough tests coming up for the Tigers.
And then for South Carolina, they've actually had their tough start. It'll ease up a little bit. You got more home games here. Texas A&M at Ole Miss, Auburn at home. The Tigers still looking for their first win in conference play. At Tennessee, that'll be on ESPNU on February the 8th, and then Vanderbilt at home. The Commodores picking up big win today.
Yeah, impressive win for the Doors down at Texas A&M, able to come up with a win. Turn that into a 3-point shooting competition. Never want to go into, it's like a land war in Asia. Don't want to take on the Commodores in a 3-point shooting competition.
Certainly better days ahead for South Carolina and Frank Martin as he continues to get his players into the system. And they've been competitive in almost every game in the league this year. And they just called a foul on Henry near midcourt.
South Carolina selecting Rosberg, who looked bad on a couple of foul shots earlier. So
I've always liked that foul because you pick your guy, not a single second off the clock.
Yep.
I've always liked that move. I'm surprised coaches don't do that more.
You know, that was one of the late Jim Valvano's favorite maneuvers. They changed the rules up there for a few years where you couldn't make that play. It was a bigger penalty for committing a foul away from the basketball. And they may need to go to that again because it is effective.
Williams to Carrera. Williams launching from deep. Maybe a little bit out of range. And then the foul. Carrera will hack Jabari Brown, and for Carrera, that's just 2 on him, but the bigger issue is the clock, which now shows 27.9 seconds left. Coming up on the month of February, and that's where the season really becomes a grind.
Yes.
You've seen everybody just about. Guys start losing their legs a little bit. It's cold. Travel's wearing down on you a little bit. It's where a lot of teams start to fold a little bit.
You know, we're a third of the way through the SEC schedule at this point. 3 weeks into it. 2 games a week, every week for 9 straight weeks. That's a tough grind.
That is a tough foul on Wes Clark. You have to wonder, what are you thinking?
Well,
up 10 with 22 seconds left.
Brenton Williams goes to the Karate Kid maneuver here. Hi-ya! Able to draw the foul with the punter maneuver. Running into the kicker on Wes Clark. Brenton Williams. 3 easy foul shots.
Are we going to see a little sweep the leg next?
Maybe.
Wax on, wax off. Well, all you did was foul the top free throw shooter in the country, shooting over 98%, in Brenton Williams.
Yeah, maybe not what you want to do there in that situation. Take your chances on him firing up that 3-point shot. What a day for Brenton Williams, though.
32 points. You see guys that go to the free throw line and they look like they're in a dentist chair. Williams, he's on vacation when he's at the free throw line. He's on a beach in Maui.
Yes, exceedingly comfortable and very confident with reason.
That foul on notice, and they'll send Clarkson to the free throw line. 7-point game on a game that refuses to end. I don't know if Missouri wants to leave their home floor. They're feeling kind of comfortable.
You just kind of pad the scoring average here. Step into the foul line, get a few foul shots to go down. In a situation where you're up by 7, so Jordan Clarkson should be feeling no pressure here. Just a chance for, add to his over 20-point total.
Missouri's basketball program doing well. Fine football season. Gamecocks will be getting ready for another baseball season with Chad Holbrook. People excited about that program. And the man that led that program at 2 national championships, Ray Tanner, now doing a fine job as the athletic director. Foul down low.
And Clarkson again. Another 2 easy points. As a player, you really enjoy these chances here. And you're ahead, cruising home, you're at home. Just add to the average.
Little stat pad opportunity.
Yeah.
Did Barry Booker do that? Was Barry Booker trying to?
I'd be known to hang on to the ball a little bit in that situation. Late in the game, got a nice lead, no pressure on these foul shots. Yeah, foul me, please. Oh.
Missouri is going to improve to 3-3 in the SEC, 15-4 overall. And now 43-2 at home under Frank Haith. Could be the final possession.
We can hope.
Carrera, steal, Henry. 3rd time's a charm, but too little too late for the Gamecocks. Missouri does it again at home. 82-74 the final score, as that man now 43-2 at home.
Nice performance by his Missouri Tigers today. He gets the great play out of the guards once again.